Hello, Brobs. This is New Book Arrivals number 222. It's not often I have Saturday off, but I've had consecutive ones off now from work, and I bought some books. Most of these came from one place. 3 of them came from a secondary source, and no, these are not part of the book, obviously. Blackout by Candace Owens, How Black America Can Make Its Second Escape from the Democrat Plantation. Obviously, a lot of people know who Candace Owens is, and they either hate her or love her. I think she's pretty funny. I think much of her appeal to people is that she will just attack people who disagree with her. I will say that it's not without justification in many cases, but I don't exactly follow her on a regular basis, but if I see a video from her, I will watch it. Randomly pop up, I'll watch it. I don't know if I'm going to sell this one or not. We'll see. Don't see this having long-term value, to be honest. Basic Writings of Existentialism by Gordon Marino, edited by him. As you can see, somebody was tab happy. I think I already have this book, but then again, I may have sold it. Looks like we got Soren Kierkegaard, Sartre, Heidegger, de Beauvoir, I don't know how to say it, Camus, Ellison, Nietzsche, Dostoevsky, Hugo, and Kierkegaard. 10 Bundys. 10 Bundys and 1 Ted. Ted Bundy, Conversations with a Killer. From Death Row, shocking details never before released. As the Leach trial ground into its 3rd week, Ted began to lose his poise in a conversation with Carol Boone, whom he'd marry at the end of the trial. He complained of the strains of being a defendant in a case where the verdict is a foregone conclusion. He's not wrong about that. Not that he wasn't guilty. I think he basically admitted that he was guilty. But yeah, you don't get a case like this, you're not going to be found innocent. Look at that. Someone blacked out his eyes, so he's like a demon. Oh, no. And then there's a little happy face. It's a sign, buddy. The Art of London. That is the hot, beautiful England. As I did a post on this one already. Ex Libris bookplate for Fred Baker Hansen. It's coming off, which would be really nice. I would like that. It's a very nice one. I like the aging too. It's very, very handsome. I looked this book up. It appears to be from 1924-ish. I also looked up Fred Baker Hansen, and I found nothing for him. It's likely his name was Frederick, for obvious reasons, but I don't know. I've looked up variations and found nothing. Did find one Fred Baker Hansen as a Nantucket clerk, city clerk of some sort, but I don't know if it's him, for obvious reasons as well. This is probably the best page in this entire book. The Art of London. Illustrations are rather nice. As you can see, this is where all these tabs came from. I'm not sure why they're in this book. Oh no. Got a very large tear on there. It's a tear in my art, bruv. I took the Mylar off. How can I find you, God? Put it on there to safe keep it. The Thing at the Foot of the Bed and Other Scary Tales by Maria Leach, formerly owned by Alec Rida. He's my ride or die buddy. Signs of Ghosts. Do's and don'ts about ghost witch stories. Let me see if this book's worth anything. Yeah, it looks like a first edition hardcover would garner about 20 to 30 bucks, but this paperback's about a $5 to $10 dealie. I only paid 50 cents, so it's a bargain for me. What's this? It was a piece of pumpernickel, bruv. That's why you don't eat at your book table. Padre Pio, Man of Hope, Renzo Allegri. Not sure how you say it. I was watching something on Malachi Martin, although they called him Malachi. I thought it was Malachi Martin. But yeah, they mentioned Padre Pio having had contact with him, so it makes my collection of Padre Pio all the more pertinent, I should say, not poignant. I hold him along with the Fatima and all that stuff, as you can see. Angels A to Z, I put that in the same supernatural categorization. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. This book isn't worth exactly much, but we found someone's receipt. Hair care, stationery, beauty access, seasonal decor, bath and body, hair care. Oh, I probably shouldn't show their. What's this? What did they purchase it? No, it's this year. Well, don't steal their credit card, please. I don't know who they are, but don't steal their credit card. Pot 1. The Reappearance of Rachel Prince. My goal is to find more of these books and sell them. Don't know what my goal is with Blake Crouch's Dark Matter. Mind. What's that say? Blowing sci-fi suspense. Love story mashup. This book's worth about $7 or $8, which makes it not particularly worth selling. But I could probably couple it with another book and put it on eBay at some point. Or maybe find another book by the author. Little Men by Louisa M. Alcott. Obviously, you know who this is. I think it's 1950-ish. 1901, 1871. I do believe it's 1950-ish. Yeah, 1950. It's got some nice illustrations. Beautiful, bruv. Guessing it had a nice jacket, but you can see it's got a weird pattern to it. 50 cents. Can't go bad. Can't go wrong. Can't go bad. The Jungle is neutral. A little bit chewed up, too. But I can probably sell this for $15 even in this condition. And since I already have a copy, which I think is a leather copy, this one is definitely on the selling block. If I ever get around to it, which I may never. F. Spencer Chapman. Don't know anything about the book. You know what? I have a jacket for this too. Lady with a Spear. Eugenie Clark. Lady with a Spear. What year was this? First edition, 1953. This book has some value, and have more value if I put a Mylar jacket to protect this seemingly, I don't know if it's a rare jacket, but all the copies I saw on eBay that sold did not have one, so that gives it some more value. All right, Robs, I've taken the Mylar jacket off this book that I purchased last week. or earlier this week, or I don't even know what the day is. I think it was earlier this week. And put it on it needs a readjustment, but for now, it's protecting it. It will protect it, bruv. The boards look rather well. Nice book. Nice book. Don't mind my camera work, bruv. There we go. I shall fix that later. Yeah, looks much better now. Jean Baudrillard. Baudrillard. Simulacra and Simulation. Translated by Sheila Feria Glazer. University of Michigan edition. Guessing this is probably some kind of philosophy. History, Holocaust, China Syndrome, Apocalypse Now. I don't know what the hell this is about. And there's the dryer. It's done. The publication in France of Simulacra et Simulation in 1981 marked Jean Baudrillard's first important step toward theorizing the postmodern, moving away from the Marxist Freudian approaches that had concerned him earlier. Baudrillard developed in this book a theory of contemporary culture that relies on displacing economic notions of cultural production with notions of cultural expenditure. Anyway, I'm selling it. The Ravens. Just bought a book about ravens. A fiction book, and here's another one. This one seemingly has no readership, but it's a translation from, obviously it looks, what's it? It's Finnish, Swedish. What is it? Norwegian wood. These all fell out of another book. National Wildflower Federation. The Garden. Very cute. This book belongs to somebody. Oh, it's a little scarecrow. Don't know anything about this author. Never heard of him. 2015. Tina Nunnally. We got Angels A to Z, and you can expect it's encyclopedic basic biographies. I believe I have this, but I don't know. It's in really good shape, so I grabbed another copy because I think I do have this, but it's all marked up. Or is that the hardcover version I have? I don't know. I have it again then, bruv. I have it again. $17 book for 50 cents. Robert Olin Butler, who I have 2 novels by Hell and The Perfume River, which I have an ARC of. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have bought this. It's not worth anything. Probably $3 or $4. But it's a nice copy. How many times did this motherfucker win the Pulitzer Prize? Or is it just he won it in 93 and they make it like he won it every time he publishes a book? Don't know. Don't matter. This is probably the most interesting book of the day. 5 Quarts, A Personal and Natural History of Blood. Paid $2 for it. I probably shouldn't. It's not worth that, but it's worth about $5 with free shipping. So I didn't go wrong, but it's very interesting. Blood Criminal. Insinuate Chemophilia. That was a chemophilia. $190. I ain't fucking doing this. Don't fight me, book. Damn, fight me. The hell, chemophilia? Is that a woman with hemophilia? Blood naturally separates, removed from the constant current of the circulatory system and collected in, say, a test tube. Blood settles into articular tricolor hematological flag, amber, white, and red. The band at the top is plasma, the liquid in which the cells of the blood are normally suspended. Next is a narrow stripe in the palace, the blend of white cells and platelets. And beneath these, the bog of burgundy-colored red cells, the heaviest of which, the deep red, almost black corpuscles, laden with waste, have sunk like sediment at the bottom of a pond. It's a pretty good description. I'm not going to get to the definition of hemophilia, but do we really need to? As you recall, if you watch this channel, I guess you can call it a channel. It's more like a channeling of a fucking buffoon. Old Jewels by Marie Sandos. I found a copy of this somewhere else. I actually think I mentioned that I saw this copy and didn't pick it up, but saw it again today. 1962 copy, and I will pick it up and sell it, like I'm going to sell the other one eventually, someday, some year. Very basic cover. The Missing Piece, another book I paid $2 for, which I think is a little more than I should have paid for it, but I believe it's a first edition. Could be wrong. It's a nothing book. But people like Shel Silverstein for some reason. I don't understand why. But it appears to be an early edition. And thus I paid $2 for it. Mostly because I didn't have change to pay for $2, $3, so I bought this and got it and used the $5 bill. But I think it's a good investment of $2. A Grimoire for Modern Cunningfolk by Peter Padon. Practical manual on traditional Wiccan witchcraft, non-Wiccan witchcraft. Encountering the Crooked Path. Red, blood, and white. That's crazy. There's been a lot of discussion in the pagan community lately about witch blood. The idea of whether a witch is born or made, and there's a lot of people, especially younger solitary people, who are promoting the idea that they were born a witch and that they have the witch blood, and that's the only real way to become a witch. Meanwhile, there are other people who are arguing that the only way to become a witch is to train and initiate with a group. There's a lot of politics and a lot of personal opinion and a lot of bile, quite frankly, being exchanged from person to person. Not in a good way, I hasten to add, about this whole concept of witch blood. It's all bullshit. You're not witches. You may be practicing witchcraft, but you're not a witch. It's just like if you're practicing Christianity, it don't make you a Christ, bruv. Anyway, that's all. That's all I got. That's all I got to show you. Good boy.